and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and we're here today for another final pour episode for the Barefoot Riesling, California, refreshingly sweet. Let's go ahead and get this going. So if you're new to the channel, hello, welcome, come on in. All my returning viewers, you know how we do. Good to see you. Here we are. What is a final pour episode if for the new people? Well, Final Pour is a three-part episode. It's actually the third part in a three-part episode series I do for review of a wine, spirit, libation of sorts. Part one is off the rip. Get the bottle home, crack it open, pour it in a glass, have a taste, share my first impressions with you because, darn it, you're special. Part two is going to be halfway down the bottle, roughly about here. We're going to give what's left in that bottle enough time and space to open up, see if it changes. For better or for worse, it is what it is. I go on the internet, I know, pray for me, and I come back with as little or as much information, sometimes next to nothing, but it is what it is. That's very discouraging sometimes when it just nobody wants to give you the information. Why not? Part three, all the way down here, is called the Final Pour, and thusly named where we are here today. We have the Final Pour. I'm going to compare this to the first pour, off the rip, and everything in between. Now, this is day 5, correct? Because yes, I didn't have it yesterday, and had it, the full review was the day before. So this is going to be a 5-day split review. So this sat in the bottle this much, about 24 to 48 hours. And then when we got down to where you saw earlier, this much, it sat again for another 24 to 48 hours. So the color is still a pale gold, pale straw. And the reason why this is reviews for wines are done faster for all the new people. Wine will oxidize and turn on you faster. I won't use any analogies. We'll keep it nice and clean. We'll keep it nice and clean today. But wine will turn fast. You have to drink it within 2 to 3 days is the best. If you're not sure how long you're going to be drinking that bottle, you might want to wait until a moment where you know you're going to drink it till it's gone. You're going to have friends over. You're going to have a dinner with somebody. It's only 750 milliliter bottles. It's a very low ABV. It's only 8%. Sometimes they can get up to 13.5, and the red wines get a little bit heavier. But with the light wines, you can probably drink them relatively quickly. A few glasses an evening over dessert. A couple of people could knock this out in an evening for sure. But it definitely does turn on you faster. So 2 to 3 days is preferable. You can stretch it between 3 and 5 days if you use certain procedures. You chill it, you use vacuum pumps, blah, blah, blah. It can last up to 7 to 10 days if you have special equipment that will use inert gas to fill and replace the oxygen that's in the bottle. I wonder what kind of method they use at high-end restaurants when they pull out those, several $100 bottles. And they only, naturally, sometimes they'll charge you for the whole bottle, even if you want a glass. That way the bottle's paid for. But I haven't quite been out that much in the past almost 10 years, at least not to any nice fancy sit-down places. I ain't talking like Applebee's. So, on the nose, I love how it evolved. Off the rip, the nose didn't have much of anything at all. It was barely noticeable. On the full review, halfway point, it did have a little bit more characters. It started to evolve and come out. Now here we are. Unfortunately, it had to wait until the very last pour to get some very nice nosing characters. Maybe, no, not maybe, definitely, if you were to decant this for, say, anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes in a proper decanter, and aerate it properly, it would probably get to this point a lot faster. But then you probably got 24 hours to drink it. So I wouldn't decant it unless you were planning on drinking it. Some people say they decant it and they put it back in the bottle. I could see that. But anyways, let's get it on the palate. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. You see that one little guy flying around? Ooh, I'm going to get you. Where did you come from, you lonely little guy? The palate is surprisingly smoother, easier, mellow. I think there's only a certain point you can get to and not go past anymore when it comes to the mellowness. The mellowness. It's very nice. It is very nice. It definitely evolved into a much better wine, although it did take a little while to get there. Like I said, get an aerator decanter. An aerator decanter. It's where they have a device. Usually, I've had one before. It's like a little bulb, like it looks like an onion that sticks on top of the bottle. And it's a special glass piece. And when you tip the bottle, I'm not going to do it because there's still a little bit left. When you tip the bottle upside down, it'll swirl it and aerate it inside that little bulb. Wonderful thing, truly expensive. I think I've seen them cheaper these days. I think it was like a $50 deal. That was the lowest one I saw. It's a little glass bulb. It's hand blown. It's got a swirly stuff inside, so it swirls and it agitates and aerates it as it switches from there into whatever vessel you have it going into. I've used it, and I do know that it does make a difference. So I'm going to get one more on this. Very delicious. Somewhat just south of what you'd get off a pineapple. Like a warm pineapple. Not like warmed up, but like room temperature. Not quite as high spiky punchiness that the pineapple juice has. But that sort of like rich, deep sweetness that you get after that spike subsides. It's kind of what I'm getting here. Well, I'm going to have to say, it's pretty good. Definitely good for under $6 if you want something light. You want something sweet, but not too sweet. Something very mellow and rich and refreshing. Bingo. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. Let's have a good one.